On a warm summer evening in Cleveland, residents gathered outside an apartment complex as they had countless times before. Cars filled the parking lot. Neighbors talked among themselves. Nothing appeared unusual. Nothing appeared dangerous. But within minutes, a chaotic scene would unfold. A young man would end up fighting for his life in the middle of a crowded parking lot. Witnesses would scramble to help. Police would race to the scene. And as investigators began piecing together what happened, they would uncover a detail that transformed this tragedy into something far more disturbing, because one of the people involved wasn't just another resident. He was someone sworn to protect the public. And what detectives allegedly discovered afterward would raise even more questions than answers. At approximately 7:53 p.m. on Wednesday evening, multiple Cleveland police officers rushed toward an apartment complex on East Boulevard. The urgency was obvious from the moment they arrived. Waiting for them was a scene no officer wants to encounter. A 26-year-old man named Akili Hammond was laying motionless in the parking lot. Around him stood a crowd of frantic bystanders. Some were attempting to help. Others appeared shocked by what they had just witnessed. No one knew whether there was still danger nearby. No one knew whether the violence was truly over. Officers immediately jumped into action. CPR began. A tourniquet was applied. Every second mattered. Every breath mattered. As emergency medical personnel rushed Hammond toward the hospital, officers were left with a growing mystery. What exactly had happened here? Who had pulled the trigger and why? Those answers would not come easily, but investigators were about to uncover information that would send shockwaves through the city.
New information about a deadly shooting involving an off-duty Cleveland police officer. The News 5 investigators obtained records revealing what happened in the moments after 26-year-old Akili Hammond was shot and killed last week. Investigator Sarah Buttison just reviewed some 911 records. She's live tonight with what you've learned.
Damon, these emergency call logs reveal police were immediately informed the shooter was one of their own. We also learned multiple people were detained after the shooting, but no one was arrested. May 20th, the calls to 911 started coming in at 7:53 p.m. about a shooting at Park Place Apartments on the city's east side. One of the callers, the shooter's sister. The log says she keeps saying her brother is a cop and had to shoot somebody, which a dispatcher shared with officers.
We were just over there on 1435 East Boulevard with the male that's in the description. He's off duty, CD, 4th District.
Yeah, one of our callers kept repeating that her brother was an officer and had to shoot somebody.
35, you said he shot somebody?
Multiple law enforcement sources confirmed that cop is 22-year-old Myron Priest, who joined Cleveland's force last year. At 8:05 p.m., an officer reported police detained 3 people, but it's unclear who was detained. A witness said there were a total of 4 shooters who opened fire, then drove off in a black GMC. A dispatcher said the driver was the one who shot Hammond.
And he got shot at by the driver of the GMC, who was sitting in the driver's side. Possible automatic weapon.
At the same time, an officer reported 26-year-old Akili Hammond was shot in his right armpit and right upper side of his body. Body-worn camera video released by police shows bystanders and an officer working to save him.
Where was he shot? On the side. One in the back and over on the side.
Despite their efforts, at 9:07 p.m., Hammond was pronounced dead. And these call logs also show officers eventually found that black GMC, but it is unclear if anyone was inside the vehicle at the time. The Cuyahoga County Sheriff's Department is investigating the deadly shooting. 6 days in so far and no arrests yet. Cleveland police say Priest was placed on unpaid administrative leave on Friday.
As detectives started interviewing witnesses and gathering evidence, a picture slowly began to emerge. According to authorities, the violence reportedly began as a verbal altercation involving several individuals. At first, it was an argument, the kind of confrontation that happens every day across America. Words were exchanged, tempers flared, tensions escalated. Then something changed. What started as a disagreement allegedly erupted into gunfire. Exactly how the situation spiraled out of control remains under investigation, but investigators soon learned that one of the people involved was not who many would have expected. According to Cleveland Police Chief Dorothy Todd, a 22-year-old man involved in the discharge of a firearm was an off-duty Cleveland police officer. Suddenly, the case became much more complicated. This wasn't simply a homicide investigation anymore. Questions immediately began to surface. What was an off-duty officer doing at the center of this deadly confrontation? How did the situation escalate to the point where shots were fired? And perhaps most importantly, what really happened in those critical moments before Hammond collapsed in the parking lot? Days later, authorities released bodycam footage from the aftermath. The video did not capture the shooting itself, but it offered a glimpse into the confusion that followed. As officers worked to secure the scene and gather information, one particular moment stood out. A man approached responding officers and handed over a firearm. Then he made a startling claim. According to the footage, the individual stated, "Here's his gun. He tried to shoot me with it."
Tonight, we're sharing new video from Cleveland police surrounding the deadly shooting of a 26-year-old by an off-duty police officer. Hello, everybody, and thanks for joining us. I'm Tracy Carlos, in tonight for Rob Powers. News 5's Kaylee Olivas breaks down what we see in the body camera video and shares new information from the police chief.
December 2025.
Officer Myron Priest, Jr.
22-year-old Myron Priest had just become a Cleveland police officer. 5 months later,
Back up, let them do their job.
and his career as a cop may be over. On Friday, multiple law enforcement sources confirm he is the off-duty Cleveland officer who shot and killed 26-year-old Akili Hammond. Hammond's friend, Stan Martin, says he watched it happen.
There was a car right here. I was sitting right behind it. This is what kills with that. The officer's right there.
He says Hammond was in an argument with a group of people at Park Place Apartments off East Boulevard Wednesday night. Cleveland police now confirming that to be true. Gunfire followed. Dispatch recordings reveal the shooting was captured on camera by the city's real-time crime center.
The male that's currently laying in the middle of the street was walking up to the black GMC and with a gun. And he got shot at by the driver of the GMC who was sitting in the driver's side. Possible automatic weapon.
Dispatchers reporting one of the shooters had a large gun and was wearing a hoodie. When officers checked it out,
3-5, we were just over there on 1435 East Boulevard with the male that's in the description. He's off duty, CD, 4th District.
Yeah, one of our callers kept repeating that her brother was an officer and had to shoot somebody.
3-5, you said he shot somebody?
we asked about hearing from Cleveland Police Chief Dorothy Todd on Friday. No press conference nor one-on-ones happened. Instead, the department posted a video statement online, which we have chosen not to air because we were not allowed to ask questions. Police did send us this redacted body camera footage.
Where was he shot?
On the side.
One in the back and over here on the side.
Showing us the aftermath of the shooting.
I'm gonna have to flip him over.
You ready?
Yep.
1, 2,
Flip him over.
The man shot, still alive at this point.
He's still breathing.
Because of that, the investigation began for felonious assault, but he was taken to a nearby hospital where he died, turning it into something more serious. Cleveland police saying, quote, "The actions involving this off-duty officer appear to be egregious violations of several administrative policies and general police orders." Cleveland police add that the off-duty officer involved was not working in any capacity for the city or in any privately employed law enforcement role. A gun has been recovered from the scene.
Gun. Got a switch on. He tried to shoot me with it. He walked right there.
Myron Priest Jr. is now on unpaid administrative leave. Cuyahoga County Sheriff's Office is investigating the criminal side, and Cleveland Police is conducting an administrative review. Until both processes are complete, the department says it will not comment further. As this develops, we'll continue to follow through.
The statement instantly raised even more questions. Whose gun was it? What exactly happened before police arrived? Was the shooting an act of self-defense? Or was there something else investigators had yet to uncover? At this stage, many of those questions remain unanswered. Authorities have not publicly released every detail surrounding the encounter, and with an active investigation underway, much of the story remains hidden behind closed doors.
Tonight, as investigators continue piecing together a deadly shooting involving an off-duty Cleveland police officer, the News 5 investigators obtained exclusive new video of that shooting. Good evening. Thanks for being with us. I'm Rob Powers. Police have now released the 911 calls from last Wednesday's shooting at the Park Place Apartments. News 5 investigator Scott Knoll now with the story, and we need to warn you here. Some of this video might be disturbing.
On the video shot from inside an apartment, you can hear a man and woman arguing outside. The argument continues. You can see 26-year-old Akili Hammond, a gun in his right hand, but at his side, walk toward a group of people. At least 3 times, someone yells, "Put it down," and then gunshots. We've chosen to freeze the video. Hammond is shot and falls to the pavement. Then more gunfire as the neighbor ducks for cover. Surveillance video from the apartment released by Cleveland police shows car windows blown out as people scatter and run. The 911 calls start flooding in.
I need an ambulance and police. Somebody's been shot at 1462 East Boulevard.
At least 6 callers, including the sister of one of the suspected shooters.
My brother hasn't killed somebody. He's a cop. He's a cop. He's a cop. Please, please get here.
That officer, Myron Priest, is now on unpaid leave after Cleveland's police chief said his actions appear to be egregious violations of policies and police orders. The investigation into the shooting now in the hands of the Cuyahoga County Sheriff's Department. Apartment surveillance video showed at least 3 other people with guns during the shooting. And on body camera video from the first responding officers, you hear Priest describe the situation.
Gun. Got a switch on, he tried to shoot me with it.
Police and paramedics tried saving Hammond, but he died at the hospital.
As the criminal investigation continued, the revelations became even more serious. Chief Todd confirmed that the officer involved had only recently joined the Cleveland Police Department. He had reportedly been hired in April of 2025 and assigned to the 4th District. The chief also stated that at the time of the incident, the officer was not working for the city in any capacity, nor was he performing any privately employed law enforcement duties. Yet, perhaps the most significant statement came when Todd addressed what investigators had allegedly uncovered during their review. Without revealing specific details, she described the officer's actions as apparent egregious violations of multiple administrative policies and police orders. That wording immediately drew attention, not just because of its severity, but because officials have yet to publicly explain exactly which actions prompted that assessment. And until those details emerge, the public is left wondering what investigators found behind the scenes.
Just released surveillance video gives new insight into a deadly shooting involving an off-duty Cleveland police officer. And for that, we go to investigator Sarah Buttison live in the newsroom.
Okay, Sarah, you've been covering this story for us and went through the video earlier today. What exactly does it show?
Rob, it shows the moment 26-year-old Akili Hammond was shot and killed by an off-duty Cleveland police officer. We want to warn you, this video is difficult to watch. The video starts at 7:12 p.m. A silver car pulls into the parking lot of Park Place Apartments. Seconds later, a man, believed to be Myron Priest, gets out. At 7:14, he gets a gun from the car. It appears to be a rifle. The video goes black. It picks up almost 40 minutes later. A red car drives by. Akili Hammond gets out. He and Priest appear to exchange words. Hammond walks away, but then, at 7:51, he returns and walks towards Priest, a gun in his hand. Within 5 seconds, Priest shoots him. The video shows Priest keeps shooting. Multiple people also fire their guns. Police highlighted that at least 3 other people were armed. Priest then gathers things on the ground while Hammond struggles. At no point does Priest offer help. In fact, he wanders around the parking lot while bystanders try to save Hammond's life. The Cuyahoga County Sheriff's Department is investigating the shooting. Priest is now under arrest at this time. Cleveland police placed Priest on unpaid administrative leave.
Today, Akili Hammond is dead. A family is grieving. A community is searching for answers. The criminal investigation has been turned over to the Cuyahoga County Sheriff's Office. Meanwhile, Cleveland police have launched their own administrative review. The officer involved has been placed on unpaid leave. For now, many of the most important questions remain unanswered. What triggered the deadly confrontation? What happened in the moments before gunfire erupted? And what evidence led police leadership to describe the officer's actions in such serious terms? As investigators continue digging for the truth, one thing is certain: a routine summer evening ended in tragedy. And the full story behind what happened in that Cleveland parking lot may be far more complicated than anyone first realized. Alright y'all, there y'all have it, man. That's the crazy story of the Cleveland police officer getting into a confrontation and shooting a man multiple times. May he rest in peace, man. Condolences to the family. Drillers and trappers, we outside trapping and drilling 247. Don't go nowhere. Watch that next video. Gang!